Hello, I'm Jay. I live in China. I'm 40 years old.
Curious about the real China? Watch my videos to find out. I'm starting a new video series for anyone planning a trip to China, or just curious about what daily life and society here are really like. I'm not gonna make those super common viral videos you see all over the internet, no fancy robots, high-speed trains, huge airports, subways or skyscrapers. Instead, I want to break down China's unwritten social norms and clear up all the random rumors floating online. If there's anything specific you want to know about China, drop a comment below. I'll make a dedicated video to answer your questions later. Hit subscribe too, I'll be posting new videos on a regular basis. Alright, let's jump into today's topic. A bunch of people messaged me recently asking why China feels so safe. They say there's barely any theft or muggings here, and you can leave your stuff lying around unattended without it getting stolen. A lot of them think it's all because there are tons of security cameras everywhere. But here's the thing, it's not just the cameras. I looked it up online, and London actually has the highest number of CCTV cameras per person in the world, yet it's nowhere near as safe as China. So why is China so secure? From my perspective, there are 3 key reasons. First off, security cameras definitely make a difference. If someone steals something or robs another person, the footage will capture everything, which makes them way more likely to get caught. Back when there weren't many cameras, tons of thieves and muggers got away without ever being identified. Second, the Chinese government holds police officers to really high standards. Their case clearance rate directly ties into promotions and their year-end bonuses. If they don't solve enough cases, they basically have no shot at moving up the ranks, and their annual pay bonus will take a huge hit. That means every reported crime puts a lot of pressure on officers. It's directly linked to their own benefits, so they'll do everything they can to crack each case. High case clearance rates act as a strong deterrent for potential criminals. People thinking about breaking the law know their odds of being arrested are extremely high, making crime simply not worth it. This is especially true for street theft and robberies, where the apprehension rate tops 90%. On top of that, anyone convicted of a crime gets a permanent criminal record. In China, people with a criminal record can barely land decent full-time jobs. They're mostly stuck with casual, temporary work. No one wants to take that risk. Third, living standards for ordinary Chinese people are really good these days, and the cost of living is super low. If you've watched my other videos, you already know this. A breakfast out costs less than $1. If you cook all your meals at home, you can eat really well for just $2 a day. Housing is affordable too. You can rent a place for around $100 a month. Water, electricity and phone bills combined add up to less than $50 monthly. With such low living expenses, even people with low incomes can live comfortably with a regular honest job. There's no incentive for them to turn to crime. So here's the bottom line. Your chances of getting caught for committing a crime are extremely high, and if you're convicted, life will become really tough down the line. Most decent jobs in China require a clean criminal background check. Once you have a criminal record, you're locked out of stable, good careers. You'll only be able to pick up odd jobs or run your own small business instead. The consequences haunt you for years. The cost of breaking the law far outweighs any small gain you might get from it. That's why the vast majority of people in China would never risk committing crimes lightly. Of course, crime still exists. Most offenders tend to go for cyber fraud or financial crimes. These types of illegal activities are well hidden and harder for authorities to trace. Violent crimes, though, leave obvious trails and are super easy to crack, so very few people dare to commit them. I filmed this video in the park right downstairs from my apartment. Take a look, this is the building where I live. I come out to wander around this park every single day. I've been out of work since 2018, and this has been my routine ever since. Eat, sleep, walk in the park, scroll on my phone. It gets pretty dull, honestly. I haven't bothered looking for a job either. I'm 40 now, and landing work is really tough. Every company thinks I'm too old to hire. Thankfully, the cost of living in China is super low. I bought this apartment back in 2016 before I went bankrupt. The place isn't registered under my name, so it wasn't seized, and I get to live here permanently. One huge plus in China, there's no annual property tax on houses. Once you buy a home, you don't have any recurring housing fees long term, except monthly property management fees, which only run about $20. That fee covers trash pickup, garden upkeep, and 24/7 security guards for the whole residential complex. If I don't travel or splurge on anything extra, I only spend around $100 a month on groceries, and I get really nice, filling meals with that budget. All my household bills combined, water, electricity, gas, and cell phone, add up to less than another $100 every month. All in all, I can live a relaxed, easy life here for under $300 a month total. Medical care here is also really affordable. Last year I got 2 CT scans, 1 gastroscopy, 2 blood tests, and an echocardiogram. A CT scan costs roughly $20, a gastroscopy is just over $50, an echocardiogram is around $60, and each blood test is less than $10. Back before I lost my job, I used to travel all the time. I've visited plenty of spots within China, and I've also been to Los Angeles, Thailand, and Saipan. Now I can't afford to travel anywhere since I've got no income. The only sightseeing I get to do is wandering around the parks in my city, free local trips, basically. Look, cameras are everywhere, every corner of this park, all along the streets. I've seen tons of foreigners on YouTube asking, "Don't all these surveillance cameras creep you out?" Here's how every local Chinese person feels. The more cameras, the better. More cameras mean more safety. No one dares commit crimes anywhere the cameras can see us. We don't feel like our privacy is being invaded at all. We just welcome every extra camera we see. Let me be clear, China doesn't just feel safe by chance. One huge factor behind our public safety is this widespread camera coverage. Thanks to them, a young woman can walk down an empty street alone late at night without feeling scared one bit. We even have a funny local saying here, "I never worry if someone's walking behind me after dark." What actually creeps me out is when there's literally no one else around. That's straight out of a horror movie. In most foreign countries, you'd panic if a stranger followed you at night. But here in China, an empty, deserted street after midnight is what'll make your hair stand on end. Chinese people don't really fixate on what outsiders call privacy. Our country has such a huge population, there are crowds everywhere you go. We've long gotten used to living with very little personal private space. Admittedly, this park's pretty empty today. I've walked quite a ways and barely run into anyone. It's probably because it's a Monday during the daytime. Most folks are at work right now, so there's hardly anybody out here. I'm not a professional content creator, so my videos don't stick to one fixed theme. If there's anything you want to know about China, leave your questions down in the comments. I'll try my best to film videos and break everything down for you. Hit the follow button so you can easily find my channel later. I'm just an average person living in China. Thanks for watching.